Well, as we approach the 10th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, we wanted a sampling of how concerned people are these days. Well, not very. According to the CNN ORC poll taken just a couple weeks ago, it shows nearly 2 out of 3 Americans felt they had little reason personally to be afraid of terrorist threats. Again, worth noting that the poll was taken before the government issued this latest bulletin. Now, let's talk about that latest bulletin and the story that we're all talking about this morning, the latest terror threat. Our next guest is privy to more terror intelligence than many of us probably would want to know. New York Congressman Peter King chairs the Homeland Security Committee. He's also on the Intelligence Committee and is the only member of both, by the way. He's joining us live from Capitol Hill. So, Congressman, what can you tell us about this terror plot? How did you get the information, and how are you taking it?
I was actually briefed yesterday morning by the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security and the National Counterterrorism Center, and again last evening by John Brennan, who's the President's Special Homeland Security Advisor. The facts are very specific as to the type of threat, how it would be carried out, the number of people involved. All of that is there as far as specifics. It's credible in that it's a plausible plot. There were some holes in it, but it is plausible. But it has not been confirmed with any other source other than, we got the information one way, we've not been able to confirm it any other way, but it's been taken very seriously because, one, because it is so specific, and also with the 9/11 commemorations coming up, and we know that Al-Qaeda does look toward anniversaries, they do look to symbolism, they do look for icons. So with all of that, it's being taken very seriously.
So, Congressman, okay, so here we are 10 years later since the attacks that devastated our country. So these specifics, these threat, what you know, what we all know now, how have we done in the past 10 years to preventing another 9/11? How would you rate what we're finding out?
Well, we've done very well. First of all, we have not been successfully attacked in 10 years, so that alone is a very significant victory. On this, we did find it out, which we probably would not have found out prior to September 11th of 2001, if this is a real plot. We still don't know if it's real, but this type of information we would not have gotten. If we had gotten it, it may have gotten pigeonholed somewhere, maybe put aside. Instead, I can tell you the moment this information came in, every federal agency was heavily involved. The FBI, CIA, DNI, go through all of them, NSA, and then it was immediately also given to the NYPD and the Washington, D.C. Police Department and the Joint Terrorism Task Forces. And then last evening, it was sent out to police departments all over the country. So we've made a lot of progress. More has to be done. I think we need more as far as communications for first responders, for cops and firefighters.
Yeah, let me ask you about that, Congressman, because you've been very vocal about certain gaps that still exist, and one of the main ones are first responders and how well equipped they are if something were to happen. So, if this plot ended up being credible or ends up being credible, and something does happen, are our first responders ready, particularly there in New York? And if not, what are you trying to do to prepare all of them?
First responders are ready in almost every way but one, and that is they do not have the type of dedicated communications that they need. That is still a problem, and that can be resolved if we just allocate a portion of the spectrum, the D block, make that available only to police and firefighters for emergencies such as this. The fact is that is still a weak link we have, the lack of proper communications, interoperability. We do not have full interoperability of communications. That is, I think, extremely important. I am pushing Senator Joe Lieberman and I, Senator Rockefeller, almost all members of the Homeland Security Committee, the Secretary of Homeland Security, both Republican and Democrat. They feel very strongly about this. The 9/11 Commission, that is one gap that has not yet been filled.
Got it. Well, I know you'll be fighting to fill that gap continuously. Congressman Peter King, appreciate your time today.
Kara, thank you very much.
You bet.